Hey guys, it's Kogoy here back with another one, and in this video I'm going to be making a part 2 to life in America as a Bosnian American, because the first one did so well, so I thought I'd, add in a few more things that I did in the first video. So thank you guys so much for watching, liking, and commenting the first part of the video that I made, and yeah, really appreciate it. But in this video I'm going to be talking about how I am gonna be a dad. I don't know if I mentioned it in previous videos of mine, but I will be a dad here very soon, coming up in the next month or so. Very excited, very happy. Um, gonna be a baby boy, right? Gonna give him a Bosnian name and all that, Um, it's gonna be great, also challenging, probably sleepless nights here and there. But overall, I just, want the baby to be healthy and, just health is the most important thing. But yeah, I'm gonna be teaching the baby everything I know. I'm gonna be passing down my knowledge of things that I know, and I want the baby to keep when he grows up older. I want him to keep the Bosnian roots intact. I want him to know the language. I know the language myself. I just speak English on here for the English speaking viewers, but Bosnian is very well known in these households. So definitely want to teach him that. I want to teach him, everything that I know. I want him to be the best that he can be in whatever he chooses to do in his life. But yeah, uh, you know, Bosnian people definitely should have kids if they're young, married. Definitely, not out of wedlock, but, get married, have kids. Kids are the most beautiful thing in this world, and, we need more of them. We need to just, keep creating kids and putting them on the right path, right? You don't want your kids to go down a different path, that would be the worst thing. Life is obviously going to change a lot. The priorities won't be all about me, my wife. The priorities are going to drastically shift to the baby. We're going to be, worrying about the baby, taking care of the baby, and it won't be about us anymore. It's going to be about the baby, solely about the baby, for his health, for his well-being, and we want to provide him the best we possibly can, right? um, I am over the moon. When we found out that my wife was pregnant, we were ecstatic, so happy. Shed some tears in the process, but hey, that's what comes with it, right? So let's transition into another topic that I wanted to touch on in this video, which is, do Bosnians still hang out with each other? Do we, have our hangouts? Do we, look out for one another? Things of that nature. I would say for the most part, yes, we do still hang out in America. We do still try to, uh, you know, be with each other, talk to each other, socialize with one another, catch up with each other, right? As much as possible, right? We try to keep that tradition alive. We try to go to one another's homes, for whatever it may be, just socializing, coffee, food, um, just being in each other's presence, and creating those memories that we want to keep with us, and be humans at the end of the day, right? We don't want to just be robots going to our jobs, going home, eating, sleeping, rinse and repeat all day every day, right? We want to keep our traditions alive, right? We want to even try to speak the language, our native language, as much as we can. We Bosnians in America tend to mix up the language, I would say. We speak English mostly, and then we mix some Bosnian, words and phrases in there when we talk to each other. But definitely we need to keep the language alive. Once the language goes, then it's hard to keep the other traditions going, such as, Bairam, you know, anything that has to do with speaking the language. All the things that come with it will be gone, in my opinion. So those are super important to keep in the tradition, in the culture, in the nationality, right? Because here it's easy to forget the language because you speak, English all day, every day, in school, at work, outside, wherever you are. Here it's an English speaking country, right? Which is just totally fine. But for the Bosnians, for the people who are watching this video that are Bosnian, and even the ones who are from different countries, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys want to keep your language intact and ready to speak at any time, because you never know when you'll need it. You always got to stay ready. And this is more so for the younger generation that I'm going to mention right now. Do Bosnians still love to go back to Bosnia, or do they just go back to Bosnia in general for the summer, for vacations? In my opinion, from what I've seen in my experience, I think Bosnians still do like to go to Bosnia on vacations, to visit their families, to visit their friends, just to you know keep those roots intact, right? They just want to go to, hey, say I went to Bosnia, I still love where I'm from, even if I wasn't born there, for example. I was, but I'm just saying for those who weren't born in Bosnia, for example, they want to keep their traditions alive, especially those who have a deep love for Bosnia, even though they don't live there. It's super important to go back and know where you're from, uh, because again, it's easy to forget where you're from when you're living in a country that has everything at your fingertips, all the convenience. Everything is around you, right? Stores, restaurants. You have all the resources here, while in Bosnia you might not have all those things that are here, right? So it's super important just to go back to learn about the history, to talk to people, to see what they go through on a daily basis, to see what their life is like. Do they have it hard? um, what's the daily life like in Bosnia? When you go and you actually speak to a person that lives there, they will break it down for you for sure. But yeah, I think it's super important to go. If not every summer, then every other summer, as much as you can. I haven't been in a couple of years, but my circumstances are different, just like everyone else's. But I will be going back, sometime soon, right? I will not forget about my home country, and I always want to represent my country the best way possible. And yeah, I hope other people will too. Do Bosnians care about making money? Do we obsess over money? Well, it depends on everyone's circumstances, where they are in life. Everyone's situation is different, right? But for the most part, in my experience, I think that we do care about making money, especially have a family, or especially if you are an ambitious person, you want to uh, do the best you can for yourself in life and get all the finer things in life. Bosnians do like the finer things in life. We want the nice things. We want the nice house, the nice car, you know, even multiple cars, right? But at the same time, despite wanting to make a lot of money, I think that we also love to be with our family, be with our friends, go out at night, go just, interact with one another, right? Make sure that we don't lose that connection, that unity, that bond that we created over so many years just because, over making some money, over working a lot. Look, working a lot in general isn't a bad thing, do you? But I think that Bosnians are a hardworking group of people. We definitely don't take things for granted because where we come from a war torn country, we come from hard times, we come from, discipline, and we don't ever want to lose those values, right? We always try to keep those things intact despite wherever we live, right? However far we are from the country. Because when you go back to the country, you see how people live, you get humbled, and you always want to give back, right? You always want to give back to where you're from. You never want to be too stingy, in my opinion, with money. And make sure you have no regrets in your life, despite how much you're working, despite how much money you're making, because at the end of the day, all the money you make will not go with you, right? That's a fact. I don't care who you are, what you do. None of that money will go with you after you're done on this earth. But yeah, Bosnians, we love making money. We love doing a lot of things. But one thing that I didn't mention that we do love is that we love our sports. We are also a competitive type of people. We love our sports. We love our soccer, or football as they would call it in Europe. We love our basketball. We love all types of sports. We're avid sports watchers. We love to watch sports. We love to play sports. And you know, we always have those battles about my team is better than your team. I can beat you in this sport, play me one on one here and there. But yeah, we are that kind of people, and we have no shame in that, right? We are very vocal about those things, and it is what it is, right? It's, in my opinion, it's a good thing. You know, be yourself, be authentic to yourself, and you know, that's what it's all about, right? If you're not yourself, then you know, you're not presenting yourself the right way. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. And subscribe to the channel if you are new. It would help me a lot to push this video out to a larger audience on YouTube. As for my Bosnians, what do you guys think of this video? Did I hit the nail on the head on some of these points that I made? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.